When humanity steps back, nature steps forward. Across the globe, abandoned buildings, towns, and monuments have been swallowed by forests, deserts, and oceans, turning human creations into ghostly relics of the past. Today, we're taking you on a journey to 7 incredible places where nature reclaimed buildings, transforming them into eerie, yet breathtaking sights. Let's dive in. Number 7. Krakow, Italy. Our journey begins in southern Italy, in the haunting medieval town of Krakow. Founded around the 8th century, Krakow was once a bustling hilltop community. But its very location, chosen for defense centuries ago, proved to be its downfall. Landslides, worsened by centuries of erosion and poor drainage, gradually destabilized the ground beneath the town. In 1963, a massive landslide forced the remaining residents to evacuate. Earthquakes and floods followed, rendering Krakow completely abandoned by the 1980s. Today, Krakow stands frozen in time. Its stone houses, churches, and towers have crumbled under the weight of neglect. Wild grass and ivy weave through broken windows, while fig trees sprout defiantly from ancient rooftops. It's as if the earth is slowly pulling Krakow back into its embrace. Despite its desolation, Krakow has gained fame as a cinematic backdrop, appearing in films like The Passion of the Christ and Quantum of Solace. But beyond Hollywood, it remains a powerful testament to the enduring force of nature. Number 6. Humberstone, Chile. From Italy, we move to the heart of the Atacama Desert in Chile, one of the driest places on Earth. Here lies Humberstone, once a booming mining town that thrived on the extraction of saltpeter, an essential ingredient for fertilizers and explosives. Established in the late 19th century, Humberstone attracted thousands of workers and their families, creating a vibrant desert community. But as synthetic alternatives to saltpeter emerged in the 20th century, the industry collapsed. By 1960, Humberstone was abandoned, left to the mercy of the desert. Today, the sun-bleached remains of Humberstone are slowly being devoured by the desert sands. Corroded metal structures, crumbling houses, and skeletal playgrounds create an eerie, post-apocalyptic landscape. Sandstorms sweep through abandoned streets, and the relentless desert sun cracks and warps the buildings. Declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2005, Humberstone stands as a stark reminder of both human ambition and the ultimate power of nature. Number 5. Beitzheim Hospital, Germany. Next, we find ourselves deep in the forests of Brandenburg, Germany, at Beitzheim Hospital. Built in the late 19th century, this massive complex served as a sanatorium for tuberculosis patients and later as a military hospital during both World Wars, even treating a young Adolf Hitler after he was wounded in World War I. After the fall of the Berlin Wall, large sections of the hospital were abandoned. And that's when nature began its quiet invasion. Today, trees grow through shattered windows and roofs, vines snake along rusting staircases, and moss carpets the once sterile hallways. Sunlight pierces through broken ceilings, casting an almost sacred glow on the ruins. Parts of Beitzheim have been stabilized for urban explorers and photographers, but much of it remains off-limits, left for nature to reclaim stone by stone. Number 4. Angkor Wat, Cambodia. Few places demonstrate nature's reclaiming power as dramatically as Angkor Wat in Cambodia. Originally built in the early 12th century by the Khmer Empire, Angkor Wat was a grand architectural marvel, a massive city of temples, palaces, and public buildings. But by the 15th century, Angkor was largely abandoned, its intricate structures left to the mercy of the surrounding jungle. Over the centuries, towering silk cotton and strangler fig trees grew around, into, and through the stonework. Roots thicker than a man's torso wrapped themselves around doorways, walls, and towers, creating an almost surreal fusion of human and natural architecture. Today, Angkor Wat remains partially restored and protected, but nearby temples like Ta Prohm have been intentionally left in their semi-ruined state to showcase nature's dominance, a spectacle famously captured in movies like Tomb Raider. Number 3. Haotuan Village, China. Off the eastern coast of China lies Shengshan Island, home to one of the world's most mesmerizing ghost villages, Haotuan. Once a thriving fishing community, the village was gradually abandoned in the 1990s due to declining resources and the challenges of modern life on a remote island. As people left, nature moved in. Today, nearly every building in Haotuan is smothered in a dense blanket of ivy and creeping vines. Windows are swallowed whole by greenery, and once bustling alleyways now resemble forest trails. The contrast is almost magical. Traditional stone homes appear as moss-covered mounds, their original structures barely discernible beneath layers of vegetation. In recent years, Howan has attracted curious tourists and photographers, eager to witness this surreal scene where the jungle doesn't just surround the village, it is the village. Number 2. Coleman, Scop, Namibia. Next, we journey to the Namib Desert to Coleman, Scop, a once prosperous diamond mining town. Established by German settlers in the early 1900s, Coleman, Scop quickly flourished, boasting amenities like a school, hospital, ballroom, and even the first X-ray station in the southern hemisphere. But like many boomtowns, Coleman, Scop's glory was fleeting. As diamond resources dwindled, residents abandoned the town in the 1950s, leaving their luxuries behind. Since then, the desert has been busy reclaiming Coleman, Scop. Giant dunes pour through doorways, windows, and staircases, filling once elegant homes with shifting seas of sand. Floors are buried, walls are eroded, and ceilings sag under the weight of the desert's relentless advance. Today, Coleman, Scop looks like a dreamscape, half ghost town, half desert mirage, and serves as a chilling reminder of how quickly the desert can erase civilization. Number 1. Hashima Island, Japan. Finally, we arrive at one of the most iconic abandoned places on Earth, Hashima Island, also known as Gunkanjima, or Battleship Island, off the coast of Nagasaki, Japan. In the early 20th century, Hashima was a thriving coal mining facility, home to over 5,000 residents crammed into a maze of concrete apartment blocks. It was one of the most densely populated places on the planet. But as petroleum replaced coal in the 1960s, Hashima's mines were shut down. By 1974, the island was abandoned almost overnight, leaving behind a skeleton of crumbling high-rises surrounded by crashing waves. Today, nature is steadily dismantling Hashima. Typhoons batter its concrete walls, saltwater erodes the steel reinforcements, and seabirds nest among broken windows. Trees and weeds crack through floors and rooftops, slowly reducing the island's modern ruins into a ghostly reef. Hashima Island was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2015 and gained international fame after appearing in the James Bond film, Skyfall. Yet beyond the cinematic glamour, Hashima stands as a somber relic of industrial ambition, and a warning that even concrete cannot withstand the forces of nature forever. Across centuries and continents, these abandoned places tell a common story. No matter how grand our achievements, nature always has the final word. Cities may rise, empires may fall, but the earth patiently waits, ready to reclaim what was once its own. Which of these incredible places would you dare to visit? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more amazing journeys into the forgotten corners of the world. Did you enjoy this video? Check out other clips of Amazing 7 and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified our latest videos.